Thanks, Adam. Thanks for being
26.
here. What a nice introduction. All right, I'm gonna jump right into it. Can England win European gold in June?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there are, obviously some amazing teams. I think Europe is the probably the strongest hockey continent in the world. So it won't be easy, but I think we've proven it before in 2009, which was actually my first ever international senior tournament. Took away a gold medal, and it's been a bit trickier since then. But it's definitely something I'd
Yeah.
love to replicate now, being captain to try and lead. The first English team in a decade to a gold medal.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the '09 tournament, obviously. But
Yeah.
let's fast forward to June now. Is there any absolute favorite for you, besides England? Then, if you if you might say so.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's really tricky at the moment with coronavirus affecting teams in different ways, and the preparations will be so different for each team. Um, I'd have to say Belgium are probably the obvious favourites, and they'll be the team that everybody's there to beat. The Dutch in their home stadium will be looking to put on a big performance. So I think they'll be the two teams. But recently Germany have caused problems for Holland in the Pro League. So it's really going to be an interesting tournament, and the fact that it's so close to the Olympics adds another exciting element to the tournament as well.
Yeah, exactly. What's that all about? How does that change the tournament for you? The fact that it's so close to Olympics.
Yeah, I think some coaches will be maybe even putting the team that they have in mind for their Olympic selection, using that European Cup as either a trial or the last sort of showing for that team. So it actually probably gives the European teams at the Olympic Games a bit of an advantage to be able to play tournament hockey before the Olympics. Tournament hockey is so different to the Pro League. Turn up, play 1 or 2 games, and then you go home. Tournament hockey is the games come thick and fast. You don't have a lot of time to recover, and it's almost a completely different game. So I think it's going to be a huge advantage for the European teams this summer.
Exactly, exactly. And you mentioned obviously Belgium, but also the Netherlands. You've played in Holland in your career, so you know the feeling, the atmosphere, the hockey culture over there. Is it for you? Is it special to play tournaments like that in the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think it sort of is the not the birthplace of hockey, but I think there's so much attention in the media. The number of people physically playing the sport in the Netherlands, it's it's definitely a very special place, and being able to play league hockey in the Netherlands has always been a dream of mine. So it was really nice to make that dream come true in 2016. I think there is something special about Amstelveen in the Wagner Stadium when that. I don't know what the crowd situation is going to be for the European Cup, whether there's going to be a crowd or not. But
Nobody
there's
knows.
definitely special memories in my mind where just orange everywhere, a sea of orange, and even though they're not supporting you, they're not supporting the English or the British team, it's still a really really special atmosphere.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, just on a personal point of view, the fact that the stadium would be all orange, is that something you prefer to play for, even though the fans are not supporting your team?
Yeah, I think it's being an Englishman, we don't get to play in front of big crowds very often. So when we do, it really is special. So I think about the Netherlands. I think about Belgium recently. I think about India. Some of those big stadium hockey tournaments are so special. It makes it feel like you're a professional, superstar just for that small moment, small window of time. But I think, yeah, with the sea of orange, I think it's also quite nice to when you force them to be quiet. If they're, if the Dutch are playing well, they're going to be singing and cheering. But it's actually a really special feeling when you get them to be quiet when you've scored a goal, or you're leading that game. So that's definitely an incentive for any foreign team visiting Holland.
Yeah, let's hope there will be some fans, but yeah, let's not dive into that one for now. Let's look at the history. It was fun. I tried to look for goals scored by yourself at European Cups. I found one, maybe
Ooh.
more, but I found one at least. Um,
Yeah, I can remember it.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the 41st minute on August 21st in 2017.
Yeah.
Do you remember who it was
Yeah.
against?
Germany.
Okay, you remember the score?
Not in. I don't remember the score of the final result. I can't remember. Was it a draw?
Nah, you lost 4-3.
It was in the
Yeah,
group stage,
in
yeah.
the group
And then we
stage,
beat
but
them. And then we
yeah,
beat
you
them
beat
for
them.
the bronze medal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you remember that one. I
Yeah.
guess there is another one you remember well. You already mentioned it in the beginning of the interview. You got one gold medal, and I believe it was also in Amsterdam or Amstelveen, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
In 2009, and that was actually your first international tournament, right?
Yeah.
Can you describe us a bit the final against Germany? Do you remember who scored?
Yeah. I don't remember the ins and outs. I was so young and so happy just to be there. Yeah, to win a gold medal on your first time of trying was almost like, oh, this seems quite easy. And then for the rest of my career, I've soon realised how difficult it is to win an international game of hockey, especially the European Cup, because it is so competitive. Yeah, I just remember the celebrations more after the game than the events. I was so focused and in the moment. And like I said before, just really, really excited and happy to be part of the international
I guess, yeah.
hockey. That it all went so quickly, but yeah, it was a really special moment because my parents were there, and they'd long wished for me to be an international hockey player. So it was nice to play in front of my parents and give
Sure.
them something back in the form of a gold medal. Yeah, it was something I'll never ever forget.
And maybe it's very difficult probably to compare, but was that the best ever England generation?
Um, Very difficult to compare. I think what we had at that point in time, in 2009, was a very good senior core of the team who I think had just finished maybe in 5th place in the Beijing Olympics, or very close to the medals, and they were hungry to put the disappointment of that summer behind them, and so in a year's time they got the opportunity to play in the European Cup. So I think of players like Ben Hawes, who had a really also played some. I think he may have even won player of the season in the Dutch league one year, or player of a European club competition. So he was at the top of his game. Barry Middleton, of course. Ashley Jackson was
Yeah.
arguably in some of the best form of his life at that stage. With Richard Mantell, Simon, there were loads of people, and they were really good in showing me sort of the way. When you're a new guy, you don't know the ins and outs of international hockey, and they were so professional. Is it, to answer your question, was it I don't think it was necessarily the best, but I think just the balance of the team, and that team had been around for a long time. In the same way that the Belgian team now, you look at how many of those players have been around for a long time. In fact, in 2009, there were a lot of that current Belgium team playing, albeit a lot younger then. I think sort of England had that, just a little bit earlier on, and maybe didn't have success in World Cups and things, but that European Cup, it came about at the right time. And yeah, I think we played really well from start to finish, beating Belgium, Austria, Germany, Holland. Yeah, it was just an incredible week in Amsterdam.
Okay. Yeah. Let's not compare them and just hope that history can repeat itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe last question before we go to the final quick questions. Actually, in a couple of days, having an interview with Holly Webb, who you know well, I guess. Do you would you like to ask a question to her?
Okay. Yeah. What's it like to take a shootout in an Olympic final? Because Holly, she scored the winning goal, and I don't think she was originally in the five takers, so she was called up quite late. So she would have maybe, I don't know, maybe she was pretty chilled, but I can imagine there almost certainly must have been some nerves in there. So yeah, she handled that pressure amazingly well and brought a gold medal back for GB. So that was, yeah, amazing.
Okay, I'll it's noted. All right. So Adam, I've got 5 more questions for you to end this interview. The rules are quite simple. You got 2 seconds to answer, so don't think too long, and you answer with 1 word.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. First one. Adam Dixon's best skill.
Oh, flicking.
What will
That's not
make
2 seconds.
what will make you win the Euros? Talent or tactics?
Both.
Oh, nice. Winning the EHL or winning the Euro?
Euros.
You can transfer 1 player of the Belgium team to your team. Who would that be?
Venyes.
Most funny teammate.
Will Cownan.
Okay, thanks for the interview, Adam.